This is just for if you want to pop that second hall to the camera.
Call to order the Avery County Board of Commissioners regular meeting December the 4th, 2023. Start 3.1 call to order. Mr. Dennis, how would you lead us in prayer?
Lord, we are grateful for another day that's been presented to us, for the opportunities that we have in it to honor and glorify you. Thank you for the privilege of living in such a beautiful area. We thank you for the opportunity to conduct a business to the citizens in this place and this time. And Lord, we ask that as we go forth that everything we say and do will be honorable to you, glorifying to your plan for our county, and the people that live and serve here. We just pray that your blessing be upon those that need to feel you in a very special way today, Lord, as we consider the needs around us. We just thank you for it all. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. Let's please stand and say the pledge of allegiance. Mr. Williams, would you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to move on to 3.1A, organizational meeting. And at this point in time, I'm going to turn it over to the county manager.
Okay, at this time, board, I would like to open the floor for nominations for the position of chair of the Avery County Board of Commissioners.
Manager, I'd like to nominate Tim Phillips for that position.
Okay, I'll close the floor for nominations. Now I ask for a vote for Tim Phillips to be chair of the Avery County Board of Commissioners.
What's your sign?
Raise your hand. All right.
Who made that motion? I didn't hear.
Dennis.
Dennis made the motion.
Motion for nominations to cease.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Chairman, I will turn the rest of the meeting over to you.
So we'll go to 3.1A2, election of the vice chairman, and I will open the floor for nominations for vice chair. I'll nominate Dennis Aldridge.
Wasn't that bad, was it?
Any other nominations?
Make the motion nominations cease.
So moved. So, all in favor of Dennis Aldridge being vice chairman, raise your hand. Okay, we'll move on to 3.13A3, and that is the appointment of officers. And so we will I need a motion to appoint county manager.
Move to appoint Philip Berger.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, board.
Okay, we'll move on to the county attorney. I need a motion to appoint a county attorney.
Move to appoint Mr. Michelle.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I need a motion to approve a finance officer.
Move to appoint Caleb Hogan.
Second.
All in favor of Caleb Hope as the finance officer, say aye. Aye. And last but not least, we need a motion to appoint clerk and assistant county manager.
Appoint Cindy Turkey.
Second.
All in favor of Cindy Turpel becoming clerk and assistant county manager, say aye. Aye. Okay. That was easy enough. We will move on down to, I want to say one thing before we get started. Miss Martha has been the chairman here ever since I've been here, which is 8 years, and I would just like to say I would aspire to be half the county manager, or half the chairman she's been, and she is the true example of what a public servant should be. And I would like for us all, if you don't care to stand, and give her a round of applause, even though she's not here. Thank you. Okay, so we'll move right on to 3.2, call to order formal sessions, proclamation and awards. Mr. County Manager?
We have none, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Let's move on to 3.2B, public comment. We will have public comment, but I'm going to read the, where's it at? There it is. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. The time limit for any comment to the board is 3 minutes. Board members are not expected to comment or take any action on matters during public comment. Any individual speaking during public comment shall address the entire board. Any person who willfully interrupts, disturbs, or disrupts the session will be asked to leave the meeting. If you would like to speak to an agenda item, you must sign up with the clerk. Time limit to speak to an agenda item is also 3 minutes. Please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. Okay, it's time for, who's here speaking public comment? Okay, let's go ahead and start with Mr. Jenkins. You speak your public comment?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I address something just before my comment? The American flag's hanging on the ground, and I'd like it to be taken off the ground, please.
Right.
The North Carolina flag is hanging on the ground outside the door. I'd like it to be taken off the floor.
And I apologize, I worked on it this morning and it's fell again, I'm sorry.
Mr. Barrier, those flags out there have been hanging on the floor since I come here. It's disgusting. Anybody want to tell me when to start?
Start.
Thank you, ma'am. I've asked for almost 2 years now for the Foundation of Dignity in Avery County for veterans in crisis. Simply a hygiene facility. I've yet to see even so much as a discussion regarding the matter. I've watched this nearly $2 million constituent money been wasted on antiquated technology over the less expensive modern solutions, crackheads and convicts over veterans, expensive property that can be obtained for as little as the delivery cost by you. Zero action has been taken by the Commission to rectify the crisis homeless veteran situation in the area, which leads me to believe that you folks truly do not care about American warriors, and after seeing that flag, about the American flag. It makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit every time I spend another 3 minutes explaining to you that there are veterans in crisis in this area that need a hygiene facility simply for the foundation of human dignity. And action needs to be taken to provide the proper solutions to those situations that aren't being properly addressed currently. A hygiene facility at minimum. A community center, preferably. The county to handle it at minimum. A public-private partnership if we have to. It's all I'm asking for. I'll do the legwork. I'll do what it has to do to make it happen. No matter what the BSO here says, statistically 10%
of those individuals that are being claimed by the foundations and organizations within the community that they're helping are veterans. So there can't be none if these foundations are telling you that they're helping people. Most recently, there was a 50-year anniversary for Vietnam veterans here in Avery. Way too many of those veterans were not notified of that fact. I was able to get to many of them, but not all. I was able to convince a brother to attend that hadn't attended a public event in 50 years, in those 50 years since Vietnam War. He got his pen. I was able to obtain a pen for an extremely ill Vietnam veteran, a local government official that couldn't make it and had been forgotten.
You have 30 seconds.
I don't know the job description of the local BSO and can only imagine what it says, but I believe it needs to be revamped completely by this commission as soon as possible. There are still names missing from the Avery Veterans Memorial. Still, after 2 years, I'm still shocked by all of this. May God have mercy on your souls.
Okay, Mr. Holden, would you like to go next?
Could we let Junior go first?
Sure. Go right ahead, yeah, whatever, however you work.
I tell you, it takes me a while to get around.
I understand that. This me too.
I'm getting slow but sure.
There you go.
What I'm before you today is something Philip and myself has talked about several times, and it's nothing to concern me, really. It's for the beautification of Avery County, the courthouse, parking lots, and for the benefit of the people that comes to the courthouse, for the parking lot. We've got this section down here that we don't have no sidewalks up to it. It's dangerous to walk up the sidewalk. And I'd like to see you all do something. I gave you all a print. I hope you all got it. It gives you about 45 extra parking spaces that can be marked off, be beautified with a tree or two in it, and so on. But I'd really like for Philip and to work on it and get with Jim, and I'll make the appointment with anybody, anytime, to get this done. Because as I say, it's not for Junior, it's for the people of Avery County to beautify our county and our town. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Where's it at?
Huh?
Which part?
All Sherman's,
Oh, okay.
between the Jim Carter's agreed, but you'll hear this in Wayne's statement.
Yes, wait.
This statement
It's not legal.
this statement is Jim Carpenter's letter. He was unable to attend this meeting due to health reasons. And I want to read it if I can borrow my sister-in-law's glasses. Commissioners and county officials, my wife and I own the corner lot of the square in Newland, which we have turned into a small park for the town and the visitors to enjoy. We also own the adjoining gravel lot, which connects to the courthouse parking lot. The gravel lots lack sidewalks and lack of landscaping is an eyesore. There's a desperate need of increased parking for both county officials, town business parking, the parking on Highway 194 on Estetoe Street is dangerous. As the town grows, it will even need more parking. I have been in contact with Philip Barrier beginning almost 2 years ago regarding the possibility of negotiating a long-term lease for the parking area on our property. We were told twice that the county attorney would be in touch and begin negotiation, but we have not heard anything from him. We propose to give or to pave and the gravel parking lots. Added attractive landscaping, lighting to the area, and repair existing sidewalks. The decision to proceed with this project would be a win-win for both the county and the town of Newland. Next fall, there will be a delegation from Washington, D.C. coming to Newland to select again another Capitol Christmas tree or White House tree. This will be an excellent opportunity to showcase Newland as the county and its tree growers. A landscape lighted municipal parking lot will help make Newland the most beautiful, highest county seat east of the Rockies.
You have 30 seconds.
There is a lot of county and town support for this project. Other tree growers like Larry Smith and Wayne Holden have agreed their interest in helping our town. I ask for your support and initiative to make this happen. Respectfully, Jim Carter.
Thank you, Wayne. Hey, Larry, go ahead.
Tell me when I can start, but first I'm gonna say, after I received that letter this morning from Mr. Cartner, I was made aware that the county was aware of this situation 2 years ago, and I don't know if the county, I love Philip like a brother. I don't know if the county manager or the county attorneys dropped the ball, but it's time not to kick the can on down the road.
Okay, Larry, go
Can I
ahead.
start?
Yeah.
I'm here to give my 100% support for the landscaping and paving of the parking lot beside the courthouse. A drawing for this project has been provided by Junior Sluter. I also have one of the best landscape architects in the country willing to provide his services free of charge to help design this project. Why does this project need to be done now? Next year, Avery County will be in the national and worldwide media coverage again. The White House returns to Newland to pick the Christmas tree that will go in the blue room of the White House. The official White House of the Christmas, the official Christmas tree of the White House. We must have this landscaping project at the courthouse done by September of 2024, when the White House staff will be in Newland to pick out the 18.5-foot Fraser fir that will be in the blue room of the White House. Hopefully Senator Heiss and Representative Dudley Green can find funds to pay for this project. If they can proudly provide $19 million for Grandfather Golf and Country Club for a dam replacement project and $800,000 to the town of Banner Elk to demolish the former Cannon Memorial Hospital building and remove some asbestos containing materials, which Banner Elk cannot even use because it's privately owned. Surely they can find the funds or reallocate the Banner Elk funds to help pay for this project. If our state representatives cannot find the funds, the county must step up and provide the funds. Thank you. I will be going to D.C. to the White House in the morning, and I would appreciate, I think it would be a kind word, that we're going to welcome the White House staff when they come. I'll be in D.C. for about 4 days. That we're looking forward for them coming to Avery County, and hopefully the commissioners will find it in their heart that you're all going to do all you can do to make this happen. Any questions?
I still really don't know where it's at.
It's all right. Do you know where Sherman's used to be?
Yeah.
If you'll look at that map, it should be drawn where Jim Cartner owns the property that joins the county, and he's willing to go into a long-term lease to the county and let them use his property to make this beautiful place in downtown Newland. So it's basically, I think it's on that map. If not, I can get you the actual survey map.
Straight across from, well,
The old Avery County Bank.
Yeah.
Right behind my place
it's
is,
where Kelly Johnson's building was that
Yeah.
the county bought.
well, that goes way back.
We looked at that and seriously talked about fixing that parking lot.
I thought it was done.
But at that point in time,
I can't hear you, Wood.
at that point in time, Mr. Carter didn't own it.
Right?
We looked at it and seriously considered it.
Well, I hope
Doing
it's
something with it.
seriously considered
We
again.
had conversations with Mr. Carter also.
Yes. And he hasn't heard, according to the letter that I received this morning, he hadn't heard anything from the county manager or attorney. Is that a correct statement?
Not in the last bit, but he has heard from us in the
Okay.
past. I mean, we're trying to work on it. It's slow.
It needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Anybody else?
Got me. I'm gonna say something. Lacey Costner, just to put into perspective of what Junior had said, he said it wasn't for him, it was for the community and for easy access. I've used that gravel parking lot numerous times to attend the parades. I have a special needs son who has a huge special needs stroller. I've also used it to go to the courthouse when there's no courthouse parking, no handicap parking, and I have to push him through with a specialized stroller, and it is hard. It's not easily done when you have a special needs son that weighs 135 pounds on a little stroller with tires that don't go over gravel. So I just wanted to put into perspective from someone else, from what Junior had said. It's accessible. People in the public use it. I use it to park there to have enough room to get my son in and out to go to the parades. It's super convenient to go to a parade and also to have enough room to get him in and out when I have to visit the courthouse. So I just wanted to put it into a different perspective from someone else in the county.
Thank you.
Mine isn't as exciting as a White House Christmas tree. Okay, so thank you, board, for letting me able to have a public statement. I'm here to ask you for help on a couple of topics. So on slide 1, basically better understanding and information from the Board of Education's financial reporting as well as their public communications. So I've spent a lot of time looking into what they have provided to you from a public data perspective, as well as creating my own public data request to see, to get more insight into it, to answer questions that I have. For example, this year, none of the teachers were afforded supplies for school, and I couldn't understand that. I couldn't understand that because you guys have given them $531,000 for FY24. And these kids, I know it's Christmas tree season, I know it's really important, but these kids are the best investment that we have in the county. And I think we can all agree with that. And I think the reason I'm coming to you is because I have seen you all and how much you care about these kids. You have never, when there wasn't enough information, you've still helped these kids, and you've never held them hostage with anything. You have always been there. I've seen some of you go to senior luncheons. I've seen some of you go to games to support things. I know that in your hearts, from what your actions have been, that you care about these kids, and that is the most important thing in this county. I'm not saying Christmas trees isn't, but they are the most important thing. So one of the things that I saw on slide 2 is salary. So in May, you had one number provided to you, and then in August, you had another number provided to you. Well, there was a public data request in between there that was a stark cry from the first one. Okay. I don't know, and this isn't your fault by any stretch of the imagination, because you guys only make decisions based on the data that is provided to you. But my perception right now is that the data is not accurate. And I'm very concerned as a citizen and as a taxpayer. So slide 3. In February, you were told that there was $8.3 million, but as of 7 months prior to that, North Carolina DPI actually published that Avery County received $10.6 million in ESSER money. So I'm not sure why that wasn't communicated to you, and I'd just like to know why, or maybe they've told you since then, hey, we had 10.6 million. Maybe it was in a different meeting minute, but I've not been able to identify. I'm sorry?
You have 30 seconds.
Okay. But that's not been identified at all. So does that mean we have $2.3 million floating around that we can use for the schools? And then buy supplies or something? Because that would be really nice. Because kids need supplies, teachers need supplies. And I can't understand this. So on the next slide, it kind of breaks down what NCDPI said that they had in their ESSER balance. The top table basically talks about what expired on September 30th. And then the last table talks about what expires this fiscal year, which started.
Okay. Anybody else?
I yield my time to her, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
We will allow that, we have done that in the past, and we will allow that today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
2 times, yeah, one other time, one more time.
All right. Tell me when to start.
Start.
All right, so in the next slide, on slide 5, as you can see from your commissioner meeting minute notes, it says that they had positions, 3 specific positions that they were unable to fill. However, if you look on the Board of Education meeting minutes, it says that they had funded and employed 3 positions that will now need to be funded elsewhere. Woodhall Young, you had actually said, is there going to be an extension? Are we going to keep this within budget? And they said, nope, not as long as we get the state money. And as you guys should know, if they haven't told you already, they got their state money. So, I mean, I'm questioning why it's so different. Because I will tell you though, not to brag on Cindy, but her meeting notes are awesome. Like I've watched 3, like I've watched several YouTube, and I can go right to her notes, and they are very good. They do not record at the Board of Education, so I can't do that. I've had to do my own recordings. In any case, next slide. One of the things in April when they delivered the proposed budget to you was that they were assuming a 7% pay increase for certified personnel and 5%. Now, this is just me, and I'm going to put a disclaimer. I'm not an attorney, I'm not an accountant. I'm just a layman, right? I'm just a concerned taxpayer, citizen, you know, Avery County local. It looks to me like everybody in the whole county, like the Avery County systems, can get a 2 to 3% bonus or raise with this money, unless they have some other thing they're going to spend it on. But have they told you what they're going to spend their money on? I have not seen anything to you guys from the Board of Education. So this is where I need your help, right? Understanding that. So the next slide, here's what really concerns me is based on the information they provided to you and to me, they returned, it appears that they have returned $577,000 to the state. That was at the end of June. My assumption is that state money runs from July 1st and to June 30th of the following year and expires at the end of the year. So I know that eventually comes back as a local taxpayer burden. Where were they going to get that other money? And if they had that money, why didn't they look ahead to see if they could spend it on something else? $103,000 was for textbooks, which could have been used for laptops or something else. So I'm just very concerned, like that doesn't make sense. And I don't think they ever addressed that with you in any of the meeting minutes. So again, thank you, Cindy. I won't get too much into this, but they did give you a compensation list of the superintendent. Okay, of the superintendent. And basically it said he made $177,000. And the next 3 slides are basically how they talk about he did get free health insurance for him and his whole family 2 months after he started. And when he started, he was making a base salary of $135,000. And then the next slide shows how 11 months after he started, he got a local 3% stipend added to his contract. And I don't know if any other.
Okay, anybody else? Okay.
Yes, sir, I'd like to yield our time.
Yes, sir. That'll be the last one.
This is the last.
And so,
That's the last one.
thank you, Cindy. Thank you, board. And so he did get a 3% supplement. Most superintendents, from my understanding, I don't have that in writing, so I'm not sure, have not got that. So it appears that, so the first year he got free health insurance. And I mean, you know, that's fine, but based on my math, and of course, this is a compensation package, there's still about 25 grand floating around out here on that 177. So I don't know where that's coming from because it's not in any of his contracts. So it doesn't make any sense to me. The math isn't adding up. So it'd be great if we could get some understanding of that. So slide 12 is just, here's what I'm really looking for. I want to gain some insight. I believe that there is an appropriation variance percentage that you can put on appropriations, and you guys can appropriate them for certain buckets, and if they vary between like over 25%, they have to come to you. However, you can actually create a budget ordinance or something that says 10%. I think you guys need to go to 10%. I just can't make heads or tails of this. And of course, again, I'm not an accountant, right? But they could use what's called English budget, which is layman's terms for, hey, what is the money going to be used for? And more importantly, how is this going to benefit the students? Period. Okay? And so I want to thank you guys for always, like whenever I reached out to you guys, you have been very helpful in terms of public data. And you cannot help bad data being provided to you, or inaccurate data, or mistakes, or whatever you want to call it, right? I don't understand how we can, as taxpayers, can expect you guys to make decisions when the information is not correct, and when it's not the same, and when it's not stable. So I feel like there needs to be some sort of either accountability and definitely some integrity added to what is being presented to you. So I want to thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else speaking public comment? Okay, if not, we'll move on to 3.2C1, Board Appointments, Economic Development Committee. Attached the application for appointment for the Economic Development Committee. This one is position open. The application has been reviewed. So, and that person is Logan Burleson. Do I have a motion to appoint Logan Burleson to the Economic Development Committee?
Move to appoint.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Next, we have a board appointment for the Avery Fire Commissioners, Commissioner's appointee. And we have one applicant. Do I need to read this House Bill 673? Okay. All right, we have one applicant for the Avery County Fire Commission, that is Scott Heath. Do I have a motion to appoint Scott Heath as on the Avery Fire Commission?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move right along to another board appointment for the Morrison Library Board. Anita Johnson has reapplied for the Morrison Library Board, and the application has been reviewed. So I need a motion to appoint Anita Johnson to the Morrison Library Board.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, we'll move right along to the Child Fatality Board. Attached is an application to appointment to the Child Fatality Board. The application has been reviewed, and that person is Rachel Towler. I need a motion to appoint Rachel Towler to the Child Fatality Board.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have an appointment to the Blue Ridge Partnership for Children. The appointment of commissioners to the Blue Ridge Partnership for Children Committee. Robert Burleson has agreed to serve on that board. I need a motion to appoint Robert Burleson to that board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll move right along to the jury. To the jury commission member. Attached is an application to be considered for appointment of Linda Taylor to the jury commission pursuant to NC General Statute 9-1. The county commissioner appoint one member to the jury commission every 2 years. I need a motion to appoint Linda Taylor to the jury commission board?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. And next is just a review of applicants for the Avery Airport Authority. There are 3 applicants to review for 3 positions on the Avery Airport Authority. And they are Sam Calvert, Doug Jennings, and James Madison. And we'll make a decision on that next month, right? Right. Okay. All right, we'll move right along to 3.3 A, radio communications update, Matthew Dean and Randy Griffin.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Mr. Barrier asked us to give you a quick brief on the radio communications system cutover that was done a couple of weeks ago. You should have in your packet a quick letter that we sent for you. I've added some pictures to that for some illustrative purposes, but to share with everyone. See if I can get this to work from way over here.
Does these screens work with that?
Turn it more that way if you want to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have that adjusted a little bit?
Is that okay? Oh.
Everybody good? Yep. Okay. So I'm really going to keep to the bullet points that you got in that letter as well. As you're already aware, the legacy system that you had in operation had quite a few issues surrounding it. The infrastructure equipment was of an age that had been long discontinued by the manufacturer and no longer supported, which could have led potentially to a lack of ability to repair the system and keep it online in the case of a failure. Thankfully, that did not come to pass, but I can tell you we were worried on a regular basis about what might have happened, and I know your county staff was as well. There was some faulty and failing equipment in a couple of sites that was not system-wide, but still problematic. You had reduced performance out in the field due to aged and or broken antenna systems. You had poor voice clarity over the channels for your public safety users out in the field and your 911 center telecommunicators. And there were site shelter issues as well. They were all part of it. There was water intrusion in some cases, electrical problems, grounding problems, all sort of wrapped up together. I've got a couple of pictures here to just give you some illustration of some of the site conditions that were in place prior. I know you guys aren't in the business, but that's not a particularly neat and tidy installation to try to work with and service and perform. These, what are commonly referred to as cams, these are antenna filter systems with the coax cabling between them and connecting them all. Again, not a particularly well implemented installation, difficult to service, troubleshoot, and again, performance issues. You can see on the right there, a little bit of water intrusion at one of the site shelters that was causing problems there in the building. A few highlights of the new system features, again, that we cut over 2 to 3 weeks ago, over the course of a couple of weeks. Again, the infrastructure is now current, technology current, hardware, manufacturer supported, able to be repaired as should the need arise. You have new base stations and microwave connectivity between the tower sites. You have reduced clutter on the towers. On the towers, there was, in some cases, a lot of old, abandoned antennas, microwave dishes, things like that, which, while not everyday problematic, can be over the long term for wind load, icing problems, things like that. So in addition to the replacements that we made, we also took a lot of all of the old abandoned stuff that didn't need to be there anymore. You have new antennas specifically designed for the system, redesigned transmit and receive filter systems, those cans that you saw, those kinds of systems were custom redesigned and rebuilt. You have improved simulcast performance throughout the county, improved coverage both outdoor and indoor over the legacy system, and improved voice clarity. We have heard, and I will call it anecdotal evidence from your county staff and from users about the vast improvements that were made. Of course, your own folks can speak to you about that in more detail. We also implemented direct connection between the 911 center and the radio system, rather than being wirelessly connected, where the 911 center was essentially just another field user and didn't have any priority over the channels. They are now directly connected to them, hardwired in, if you will. So they do have that, but they still have redundant wireless capability if that need arises. And then a few pictures to show you some of the after. You can see here a couple of the tower sites, equipment racks, nice and neatly wired, installed, new base stations, new microwave equipment. On the left, you see some of the battery backup or 48 volt operation. Again, one of the sites are on the left. On the right, one of the equipment racks at the 911 center, providing that wireless backup connectivity and also the Viper connection over the air. There are a couple of the redesigned, rebuilt filter can systems, and a few snaps from a few of the towers. See the microwave dishes, base station antennas, a nice winter mix there in the middle from a couple of weeks ago. Or that will be coming, I'm sure. And no, the gentleman on the right-hand picture is not still up there. It was taken during implementation. So don't worry about him. I want to compliment your staff, your county staff, the end users out in the field, your 911 employees. It was not an easy transition, to be quite honest. It was sort of like building a car while it's running down the highway, because we were ripping stuff out and having to put new in literally on the fly. Everybody was very cooperative. They knew what was coming. They worked through it where they needed to, and were very helpful where they needed to be. So kudos to them for all your own folks. And obviously that was essential to making it successful. It is not just us, it's not just the equipment, it's all the other folks that are part of this. So we appreciate the trust you put in us throughout this. We look forward to a continued partnership far into the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. We'll move on to 3.3B, the annual audit report, Blackburn Children, Mr. Gall, CPAs.
Hello, I'm Sarah Black. I'm one of the auditors that worked on the fiscal year 23 audit for you guys. I'd like to start by thanking you guys for selecting us to be your auditors again this year. And I'd like to thank Caleb and his staff. They're a pleasure to work with, and it makes the audit go much smoother when the clients are easy to work with. So you guys have your reports, right? So on page 1 through 4 actually, is our opinion letter. This year, the county received an unmodified opinion, which is the best you can get, so that's great. Starting on page 5 is the MD&A, the Management Discussion and Analysis. That's a summary of the activity through the year, and Caleb actually wrote that. So that kind of gives you the highlights. On page 14 and 15, those are the government-wide financial statements, the statement of net position and the statement of activities. The county's ending net position was $74,300,000 approximately. 37 million was net invested in capital assets. And last year, you guys had a 7.7 increase in net position. And if you guys have questions, you can just stop me. After that, there are the fund financials. If you skip to page 47, there's some details about your capital asset activity. That's all government-wide. You guys don't have any enterprise funds. There's a roll forward of the new and disposed of fixed assets. You guys had quite a bit of construction in progress. The AG building community room, the high school renovation, the DSS building, the radio upgrade, and the hillside slide were all in progress as of June 30th. And then for fixed asset purchases, 1.2 million in assets was purchased. There was an ambulance, several vehicles, and a lot of public safety equipment was purchased. If you want to turn to page 68, it shows the legal debt margin for the county. That limit, the amount of debt you can take on, is $462 million. But right now the county only has 9.5 million in debt, so you're only 2% of your margin. That's great. The next page shows a roll forward of the debt. And so during the year, you guys paid down almost $1 million in debt. It was $968,000. If you want to turn to page 105, that's your CFA, the Schedule of Expenditures of Federal Awards. And then right after that is the state expenditures. So for the federal expenditures, you guys spent almost 2.9 million of grant funds. And on the state side, it was 1.6. The biggest program was your medical assistance program. You also had some transportation grants, and you had several COVID-related grants like the American Rescue Plan, those type of grants. And for the state, the largest expenditures were the DSS, the Department of Social Services. On page 110 is our report on internal control over financial reporting and compliance. Basically, this report shows whether or not we discovered anything that would indicate that you guys have any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies in internal control. And you didn't, so that's great. On page 112, we have another report on compliance. This is compliance with the Uniform Guidance and the State Single Audit Implementation Act. For federal and state, we did not have any findings. That's great. At the very end, page 118, it's our schedule of findings and questions costs for when we're doing the single audit, which is the testing of grant funds. We did not have any findings or questions costs. That's great. The federal program that we selected as major this year was the Medical Assistance Program, and our major state program was the DSS State Budget Grant. Do you guys have any questions about the report? I know I went through it kind of fast.
It's better than reading it page per page.
Yeah, definitely. It's like 130 pages, so.
Anybody got any questions?
No, not if they say we're good.
That's why I look at it, they're professionals there.
I do want to say on behalf of the county and the finance side, speaking with Caleb and all the folks, we appreciate the way that y'all have worked with us and been very easy to get a lot of information. And last year, we really felt that it was probably the most thorough and concise audit we'd had with more detail, and this one is no different. So we appreciate
Thank you.
the work that y'all did as well.
Yes, thank you very much.
Great job.
All right.
So we need a motion to approve the audit.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? We discussed a while ago, I guess. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move to 3.3C, Avery County Recreation Center Committee recommendation, and I'll let you.
Okay, so, board, the Recreation Center Committee, we did meet on November 6th. All members were present. The committee evaluated proposals and unanimously selected CPL, Architect, Engineer, and Planning, out of Charlotte to be considered for the project. And at this time, we'd just like to get a consensus on next steps and what you want the management to do as far as moving forward with the project.
What are the options?
Well, we can award, let them know that we have selected them as the architect, and then just tell them that we will be in touch. And then we can let all the others know that we have selected. The selection process has started.
Have they been and looked at the site?
Yes, everyone that had submitted a project had looked at the site.
Do they think we have enough room?
That will be determined on what we as a county want to build. If that makes sense.
Too much.
Okay, they're going to come and they want to do some community engagement. They want to talk with you, with the board and with the public on what do we want in a recreation center, and then decide what can be possible on the property that we have.
Do we have to select an architect before they will do that? Will they not do that trying to get the business?
I don't know. I can ask.
I think, to me, the way I read this, my understanding is that this is very preliminary. And what we're looking at here is to try to establish sort of what this will look like based on input from citizens, and this limited by the footprint that we have, and then try to determine a cost estimate, best cost, and it truly will be an estimate based on that, so that we can go forward then with looking for funding sources.
And this group we went and looked at a place, and y'all know that, and what we want is do is get some community input to see, some of the stuff they have we probably won't need. There might be some stuff we do need, and with community input we can see what it is, and then eventually get with this CPL group, we can eventually get some kind of estimate on what we're looking at price-wise and what things are going to cost. And that's why we're going ahead, and we really like the way they handled, we're talking to the people in Belmont, where we went to, the way they handled the situation with their rec center and all the stuff that went on. They had started with COVID, they had to stop, then they had to restart. So they really handled that situation well. So that's why we decided as a group, me and Robbie went down, and Philip and Robbie, that we would like to use them.
I think we're one of the groups that responded to the
Yes.
RFP.
Oh, yes.
For the request,
Yes. We got somebody else who wants to speak, is that?
I just got a question.
Unless you signed up to speak on the agenda, I'm sorry, you can't.
Can I ask the question?
If the chair will allow it.
I'll allow it.
I'm just a poor farmer trying to make a living, not in the loop. Who is on the rec committee? For my public.
On this committee?
Yes.
Was the finance officer, myself, 2 commissioners, and the Parks and Rec director.
Me and Robert.
Me and
Tim and
Robert.
Okay, I didn't know.
Me and Robert, yeah.
Thank you.
And it was just really we were just looking, fact-finding mission to look for architects, places that.
I read it, but I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that committee, who that committee was.
Yeah, exactly. So do we need a motion to go ahead and move on with this, with CP&L to get some community input and some numbers? I need a motion to say that.
I'll make a
Yes.
motion.
I would second that with clarification. That we understand that we are not committing to architectural drawings or anything at this point. We're looking at information and the first step from them to provide us with some guidance going forward. But any steps beyond that would need to be brought back and voted on. That's all.
I think we can go there. Don't you feel?
Yeah, so a fact-finding, possible community engagement and guidance, and an estimation of cost
Correct.
after that, community engagement.
But they'll have to do some type of schematics in order to get some, get some numbers. So, I have a second to that.
That was me.
That was you, sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Did you amend the motion?
He did a clarification, he just went ahead and did a clarification on it.
Yeah.
Second.
So, all in favor, say aye.
Did you have discussion, any discussion?
Well,
Too late,
we done been discussing. Okay. Got that out of the way.
I'm still trying to get out of.
Okay. Let's move to 3.3.
Hang on just a minute. You
I'm
need to
sorry.
go to your second part of your agenda. It went in 2 different emails.
I'm sorry, I should have told you that.
Yeah,
It changed right there.
it changed right there because it was too big to send all at
It
once.
changed at the end of the audit.
So you should have another email that says agenda part 2.
130 pages of audit will do that to you.
Yeah.
200, yeah, a 255 page agenda will do that for you. You got it?
All right. We'll move on to 3.3D, Tax Administrator's Report, Andrea Turbofield. Andrew, sorry.
Please approve our deposits for the month of November, $4,756,297.05.
Need a motion to approve.
That's a easy one. Second.
It's got a second?
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next, please approve our releases of $168.41.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
And then lastly,
Hang
Hang
on.
on a second.
oh, sorry.
Evidently, the clerk's getting old because she can't hear. Would y'all speak up a little
Okay.
bit? I'm sure they can't hear you out there either.
I'll get it closer.
Can y'all hear anything out there? No, I didn't think so, because I can't hear them. I must be deaf on this side, but I can't hear y'all. Pull those mics up to your, yeah,
How's that?
and speak up some, because I can't hear anything. Yeah, give me one of them hearing aids. Sorry, and then interrupt, but I can't hear anything.
No, you're fine. Our total qualified sales for November 2023 was 51. Last year, there was 57. Our sales ratio for the month of November is at 65%. Last year, we were at 68%. And if you have any questions about any of the sales that I presented.
Just that it's amazing, just a comment, it's amazing to me that the property's weighing so much more.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It just shows that there's not a whole lot out there for sale, to me.
I honestly had expected things to kind of slow down, but they're really not yet. So we'll see.
Be careful, she said. Speak up, she said.
I'm finished now.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Let's move on to 3.3E, Avery County Board of Commissioners Board Policy Revision. Mr. Barry, would you like to handle that?
I can, and I've got the county attorney to lean on also. So this is a draft for new policy regarding the business of the Board of Commissioners. We would like to point out, if everybody will turn 2 pages to 2.10B. There's some different language in B. Any person desiring to speak during public comment period shall, prior to the beginning of the meeting, register on a sign-up sheet provided by the clerk to the board, identifying the speaker by name, address, and the topic to be addressed by such individual. So that it will be a change. C and D are also changes. Each speaker appearing before the board will be limited to 3 minutes speaking time. Commissioners are excluded with a maximum of 7 minutes for 3 or more speakers addressing the same issue. E is each person shall address the board from the podium and state his or her and their name and community of residence for the record prior to the beginning of the remarks. F, only 1 speaker shall be acknowledged at a time. Discussion between speakers and members of the audience will not be allowed. J, speakers shall refrain from personal attacks and threats directed toward county staff, elected board members, and members of the public.
G and H also, would you please read that?
Okay, G, the speaker may not share or relinquish any remaining time they have not used to another speaker. H, speakers are only allowed to speak 1 time during the public comment period. L, speakers may not use audio or video equipment located in the boardroom or otherwise make audio or video presentations. Other visual aids, including but not limited to signs, banners, flags, and other props, are not allowed. Michelle, have I missed anything? Anything else notable?
I think that's pretty much the highlight. I and J, just go ahead and speak to that.
I, speaker substitutions at the meeting are not allowed, and speakers shall refrain from personal attacks and threats directed towards county staff, board members, and members of the public.
Is this the item they want to speak on?
I didn't sign up for this item,
No,
but I'm asking your permission to speak, your consideration.
You're not on the agenda, or not signed up for that.
Right.
If you want to allow him to speak, you can. That's the chair's privilege.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I spent blood, sweat, and tears for my First Amendment right to speak. And what y'all are talking about right here is communism. That's communism. Communism, if I ever heard of it in my lifetime. God is my witness. If you're going to restrict our speech to those terms and conditions, I don't believe this is America.
Thank you. All right, go ahead.
I would like to make a suggestion that those amendments be placed in the paper, or whatever they are, to where the public will know what they are if you all pass them. And that's my only response.
Okay, duly noted.
I've got a question, like clarification of D. So this person appearing before the board will be limited to 3 minutes speaking time. which commissioners excluded, with a maximum of 7 minutes for 3 or more speakers addressing the same issue. You're not gonna give them 3 minutes each.
Can you say that louder?
It says that each person will be limited to 3 minutes with a maximum of 7 minutes, I think, total for 3 or more speakers. But my question is that's not giving them 3 minutes each. That's giving a total of 7 minutes for 3 people, which is what, 2 point something minutes each.
Per issue.
So they get 9 minutes or 7 minutes?
According to this, they get 7.
7 minutes per issue.
That's
The
probably.
current time limit is 10 minutes for 3 or more speakers. The current time limit is 10, yes, for 3 or more.
Right. So in the revision, it says 7.
And I think that was based upon 3 minutes for the first speaker and then 2 minutes for 2 additional speakers.
Of the same thing.
On the same issue.
You all can change
If the board
that.
can
It's
change
your
that.
policy.
If the board wanted to keep the existing policy of 10 minutes, you can certainly do that.
I think we ought to keep the existing 10 minutes. That's just my opinion.
I do too.
I agree with that.
That's fine.
Mr. Phillips, there's a lot more than that to address, sir.
Listen, we're in a meeting, you've not signed up, I've been gracious enough to let you speak, but now we've got to stop. No, we've got to stop. No, got to stop. You're not signed up, we're done. So we will handle that at the next, you wanna handle it now?
This hasn't even been voted on yet.
No, that's what I'm saying, you
This
wanna go
is
ahead and
what
make the
we're here to
revision and
vote on.
handle it now?
Yeah, if
I don't want
you
to
all
vote on
are
this now, I want to read over all this. That's it.
that's up to the board. If you don't want to vote on it at this time, then we need to table it. Otherwise,
I would say that this is very much like the policy that's been in place for years. There's only a few points of clarification in terms of the number of speakers that can be given on one item or transferring time one person to another. It still allows for, just like it always has, for the purpose of public comment, which is exactly what it was designed to do. It gives everybody the voice to themselves to present their public comment to the board, and we will listen just like we always have. There's no change to that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, other than the 10 minutes, I mean, let's leave it, take 10 minutes, is there something out that you're concerned about?
Well, I mean, I've never seen the old one, to be honest with you.
It's in
so-
there.
Is it above?
The old one's
It's
in
your
there,
agenda. Go down.
yeah.
That's the biggest change in the whole thing, is from 10 minutes to 7.
Well, I mean, pretty much the rest of it's the same.
Yeah, the rest of it's the same, I'll vote on it. We didn't change the 10 minutes. I mean, we stick to the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing we've had in the past.
Pretty much, other than, some of the things about,
There's a few little modifications.
you can't give your time out and all that kind of stuff.
And the only thing, the reason that we felt it was necessary to address devices, electronics, with the advent of artificial intelligence and all the digital manipulation that's possible as we see every day out in the world, we felt that that was an opportunity to try to provide opportunity for people to voice without having to worry about manipulation through artificial means.
I understand that.
Trying to get ahead of AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so do I have a motion to pass this board revision policy as clarified and everything? Can we have a motion to that?
With the changes.
With the changes made to 10, from 7 to 10 minutes?
But still to remain for 3.
Yeah, we still remain 3.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, we'll move on from that. We will go to the resolution 3.3F, resolution by the County of Avery to direct the expenditure of opioid settlement funds.
So board, you have before you a resolution for Avery County to direct expenditure of opioid settlement funds. Avery County has joined the national settlement agreements with companies engaged in manufacturing, distribution, and dispensing of opioids. And now therefore be it resolved in alignment with the North Carolina MOA and SAAF, Avery County authorizes the expenditure of opioid settlement funds as follows. First strategy is collaborative strategic planning, and the amount authorized for this plan is $12,940, and the provider will be Freedom Life Ministries. That will receive the $12,940. The second strategy authorized in this resolution is for evidence-based addiction treatment. The amount authorized for this strategy is $44,940, and the provider will be High Country Community Health. The third strategy authorized is naloxone distribution. The amount authorized for this strategy is $5,060, and the provider will be High Country Community Health. The fourth strategy authorized is reentry programs. The amount authorized for this strategy is $37,060. The provider will be Freedom Life Ministries, Avery, Freedom Life Avery. The total amount of opioid settlement funds appropriated across the above named and authorized strategies is $100,000. If it is adopted today, the 4th day of December 2023, and then there also a memorandum of understanding that will need to be approved with each nonprofit to spend the funds.
So we need a motion for the.
Hang on.
I'm sorry.
And
let Michelle clarify.
Okay.
Yeah, well, no, I was gonna say, in regard to the memorandum for the two nonprofits, I do have two proposals to be added to that. We didn't have time to get that worked out for the agenda packet. I would like paragraphs 1 and 2, they address the payments to be made to the nonprofit, and that the nonprofit is to provide a written plan of what they're doing. I think that needs to be clarified to say the payment will not be made until they actually provide that plan to the county. And then in paragraph 4, there needs to be a provision added at the end of that states that the county retains the right to pursue reimbursement of the funds if the agency fails to carry out their remediation strategies. And what needs to be added is to say, or if they fail to follow the requirements that are in the memorandum from the state. That's the whole thing. They have to follow the requirements from the state. And if they don't, then their funds are subject to being pulled back by the county. So with those two additions to the memorandum.
So we need a motion for the.
Hang on just a second. Mr. Jenkins has signed up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
On the agenda. So
Mr. Jenkins.
He can speak to that.
Come up.
We're talking about the opioid settlement funds, right?
Yes, sir.
Y'all got me shook here. I think I'm in North Korea or something. Opioid settlement funds can be used for homeless veterans. They're a category of personnel that are largely affected by the opioid epidemic. I've been talking to y'all about this for 2 years now. Hope some of those funds go to my brothers and sisters that are suffering. I hadn't heard anything about it happening, but I hope to God that the largest opioid distributor in America, the Veterans Healthcare System, is addressed by assisting those veterans that became addicted to opioids and became homeless. In this program, I don't understand how you people award these funds to these organizations and foundations without the consideration of Veterans First? Who do you think provides your freedom? Who's protecting those foundations and organizations to even exist? It makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me, people. What are you doing? Conservative Republicans. Christians. Americans. Patriots. It's what you call yourselves. What a shame. Good luck.
Thank you.
I will say that every organization out there, nonprofit, would be happy to apply for these funds in the coming year. As new applications are received each year, we will consider every application that's submitted to us.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask the county attorney a question about MOU number 2, Michelle, for the High Country Community Health, last page? Can we include in your motion for changes that says Freedom Life Ministries, that needs to say High Country Community Health right above where Alice will sign the, that just jumped out at me today.
Yes, that would need to be corrected. Is it Ms. Price?
To High Country,
Ms. Price?
yeah. High Country Community Health Board. Sorry about that.
Okay, so we need a motion for, can we do the resolution and both MOUs in the same motion?
You can. I would ask that the motion include the changes to the MOUs that we discussed.
Yeah. So I need a motion to the resolution and both MOUs with the corrections for us to accept those. Who wants to make that?
I would move that we accept the resolution as it presented for the distribution of funds and the memorandum of understanding for both organizations, including the additions and corrections that were made at the meeting today.
Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, we'll move on to 3.4, County Commission reports and requests, County Manager report.
So everybody sit back for a minute. And I apologize in advance. So let's start with broadband updates. So in your packet, there's a lot of informational items, and I'm going to discuss quite a few of those during the update. But number one on broadband, you have in your packet and the information items about the great grant. Unfortunately, to the citizens out there, we have to report for the first 6 months, less than 25% of the work is completed on the great grant. Mostly permitting is what is being accomplished. So that's an update on the great grant. I did have a webinar today on the second grant, the CAB, and then after the managers had an update from Raleigh, then the providers had an update. So we're hoping that paperwork will move soon. And when I say soon, here it is December, so I'm hoping sometime in January we hear more about the CAB grant. So hear my frustration in my voice to my citizens that call me once a week about broadband at their home. We are moving as quick as possible on this, okay? There is a third grant for the providers out there. There's some POLE grants out there available now to our, and I've let both of our interested parties know that that is now available. So there is a third grant out there for pole replacement to try to help speed this fiber and stuff to homes. So do I have any of the commissioners with any questions about where we are on broadband? every month I feel like we're getting closer, but still we are frustrated. And I know you're frustrated along with the manager here. So, move on to the DSS building update. So the floors are going down and furniture is still slated to be delivered a week from today. So Raquel, makes me nervous, but I think they say they're going to be ready. Supposed to get some phone calls hopefully this week for walkthroughs. So we'll keep you posted when that is available. Number 3, PSAT. Y'all hear that word a lot. This is about our communications department. Our 911 had an assessment on November 17th. And needless to say, thanks to our center, thanks to each and every one of our employees, thanks to our leadership, they got a perfect score. So now the standard has been raised. That was not the case. The last time they came and did one, we had 20 deficiencies. So they have cleaned all that up in a matter of a year or so, and I just want to congratulate them. And Mike, I want to thank you. And I want you to thank everyone there. Getting a perfect score from a group out of Raleigh is no easy feat. So that letter is also in your
I think that was
informational material.
2 years ago that we had the one before with the previous administration.
Yeah.
So bar set, services are being provided the way they should be for Avery County. Appreciate that. Also in your informational items is about the tier system. To the public, to the paper, to everyone. I think everyone knows we were a tier 3 county. We were number 91. January 1st, we will be back to being a tier 2 county. We will be number 77th overall. The main reason is our population growth. Fell from being the 81st most growing county to 54th. And I simply attribute that to there's no more homes to buy. Luckily, some other people moved in front of us there. And so we will once again be tier 2. That helps on a lot of grants and some school funding. So that's also in your informational packet.
So what's the population now of Avery County? 18,000 and...
According to your estimate on this, it's 18,000 plus.
And 7 or something like that.
Yeah,
it's just over 18,000.
Yeah.
Just barely over 18.
That's full-time residents, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, that's census numbers.
Yeah. Census numbers that say you live here year-round. Just an update on the strategic plan. That group with the Economic Development Committee met again Friday. Appreciate everyone that filled out one of the surveys. Went really well. That survey is also being made available online if you want to see the results of that survey. I do appreciate the time and effort that planning committee is putting in. I look for some great things to happen there. Had a meeting last Thursday with High Country Council of Governments on workforce housing. Also talked to a developer and talked to a company here in the county and several nonprofits about workforce housing. So do know that we are doing what we can to try to get some workforce housing started as soon as possible. Then we'll move back up to a tier 3 county. So whatever. In your informational items also, I just want to make everyone aware that the Blue Ridge Conservancy is deeding to the state some property. It's 4,218 acres. It's on the Avery-Watauga line, so not all 4,000 acres. It's over at Tyne Castle, the top of the mountain. It's now going to be part of the state park system. Just want to make everyone aware of that. We have got a contract, signed a contract with the realtor to sell the Avery Cares building. So that is currently for sale. December 15th is the due date for the request for proposals for the renovation, for someone to do the renovation on our new probation office. So that'll be the end of next week. The jail just passed their inspection on November 15th, and they got 100% on that. Had a meeting Friday with Dr. Boyd and the county manager at Mitchell on the Mitchell Avery Animal Shelter. So that is going well. They had 2 responses to their architect proposal, request for qualifications. And at our the next full meeting of both counties will be with the commissioner, and Tim has been voluntold to go with me to that meeting, and we're going to start working on bylaws for the new Mitchell Avery board to run the animal shelter. That'll be on Tuesday the 9th, and was very pleased that they had already gotten 2 responses from the RFQ for a design build on that animal shelter.
Will it be a design build?
Yes, their procurement method is a lot less strict because they're a board of trustees for Maitland Community College than for said county. So luckily, they can not get by. They have other opportunities to get things built.
Save money.
Exactly, save some money. Just want to make sure everyone is aware the trash sites will be closed for the Christmas holidays, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Christmas Day. But they will reopen the 26th, and so will the landfill. Everything will be opened back up on the 26th. And there's an invitation to the Liz McCrae Opportunity School for Women, open house again for them on December 12th from 1 to 5. And our employee Christmas luncheon, Michelle, I hope I sent you an invite. It's the 13th, and that's 12 to 1:30 at the community center. And I believe I've touched on everything.
Question.
Okay.
Minimum bid on the CARES building. Is there one?
Yes.
What is it? What is the
Minimum bid on the CARES building.
I would have to look at the contract.
Okay.
I just wanted to be sure there was one.
There is one, yes, sir.
So it'll sell at the courthouse, or?
Now you go through the realtor, and then all the North Carolina laws have to be, because we're selling public property, your property. So Michelle will handle with the clerk of court all the methods that have to be addressed to sell that property.
Who's the realtor?
Dave Smith. I'll give you his name.
Terry Melton.
Terry Melton, Dave Smith.
Oh, okay. Okay, I know exactly.
Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah. That works.
Yeah, that works. All right. Let's move on to 3.4B, Finance Officer Report, Mr. Caleb Hogan.
I want to start off by thanking you for your trust in me and my reappointment. Greatly appreciate that. And I want to brag on my staff. Ashley, Starr, Dennis, Arizona, phenomenal. They make my job so much easier. They are the best by far in the state. And that's what made our audit process go so smooth, because they're just so well trained in their jobs, and they make my life so much easier.
Got a good leader.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Item number 1 for your consideration this evening is the Sheriff's Office has received a grant from the High Country Charitable Foundation, the amount of $6,000 to fund expenses related to the DARE program. Request the board to accept the grant and approve the following budget amendment: to debit DARE drug prevention $6,000 and credit Avery County Sheriff's Office SRO program $6,000.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Item number 2, the Department of EMS has received a grant from Dogwood Health Trust to fund the Avery County Community Paramedic Program. Request the board to accept the grant and approve the following budget amendment: To debit salary income maintenance, $53,282. FICA administration, $3,819. Retirement, $6,554. Group insurance, $9,947. 401k retirement, $1,498. And credit Dogwood Health Trust grant, $75,000.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 3, the Sheriff's Office has received an insurance reimbursement for the 2019 Dodge Durango. Request the board to approve the following budget amendment. To debit auto supplies, $1,226.60. And credit insurance reimbursements, $1,226.60.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 4, the Sheriff's Office has received a insurance reimbursement for a 2017 Dodge Ram. Request the board to approve the following budget amendment. To debit auto supplies, $14,629.93, and credit insurance reimbursements, $14,629.93.
I called it, move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I've got a question.
Okay.
It seems like every month we've got an insurance money that we receive for the sheriff's office. Are they wrecking all these vehicles?
They had several.
Yeah, and this is, I know of at least one of these was not.
The 14,000 was from a insurance where they hit.
They hit us, yes. It was not
They
our
hit
fault.
us.
Okay.
So we received $14,000 for that truck from another insurance.
And sometimes
But
a
they
deer
have-
hits us.
Yeah, and sometimes a deer hits us and they don't have insurance.
We had one vehicle where they were driving and it just, the axle broke or it hit a bump and the axle broke on it, and so insurance covered that as well.
We'll have a few more because we've had some incidences since last week.
Item number 5, as you all are aware, the Department of Social Services is requesting 2 Medicaid positions because to help cover the implementation of the Medicaid expansion that went into effect on December 1st. These positions will be reimbursed from the state up to 75%. However, the state sent $65,638.59 to help cover the county match on these positions, as well as current Medicaid positions for FY24. This amendment will put those funds that we received these funds in June, right before the end of the fiscal year. So those funds rolled into fund balance. This amendment will pull them back out and appropriate them for this purpose. And that requests the board to approve the following budget amendment. To debit salary income maintenance, $42,423.59. FICA administration, $3,229. Retirement, $5,457. Group insurance, $13,262. 401k retirement, $1,267. And credit fund balance appropriated, $65,638.59.
Is that for 2 positions?
For the remainder of the fiscal year, it is, yes. So it's not 12 months salary, it's just the remainder, yeah.
Move to approve.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And it's my understanding that the state may be sending more funds to help offset the cost of this Medicaid expansion as well. This is just the first that came in there at the end of last fiscal year, so we'll see.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
In much discussion, the Medicaid expansion is a big thing in our state. It really is. It's going to cover a lot of lives. In discussion over the past several years with the state DHHS, concerning the cost it's gonna be for the county. I think that's been downplayed significantly on it's a great thing and it will impact a lot of people, but it will be required, there will be more money required from the county. This facility that we're building over here right now is a part of that, as well as positions. So just, these things come, we really have to meet the need, but it is going to have impact on our county budget probably more than they had anticipated, or more than they had spoken of.
Kind of long-term reimbursement too. That's what the trouble was.
Yeah, and I'll brag on Raquel, she's doing a great job, as good as anybody can do navigating uncertain territory. And so we'll take it as it comes and hope for the best.
Yeah, she said, come in one day and her first job was to see how the hoops were aligned today to jump through.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's all I have, unless y'all have any questions for me.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you all.
Thanks, folks. Okay, we'll move on to 3.4C, the county attorney report. Do you have anything, Michelle?
No, I would like to thank the board for the reappointment, but I do not have anything that requires the board's attention today.
Okay. 3.5, staff reports and requests.
We don't have anything, Mr. Chairman.
3.6, we have got a closed session.
I do not have anything.
Okay. 3.7 is approval of minutes, September 26, 2023, special meeting, October the 24th, 2023, board workshop, November the 6th, 2023, regular session, and November the 9th, 2023, special meeting. Need a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And 3.8 is agenda consent items. Anybody have any discussion on the agenda consent items? If not, they are approved by consent. 3.9 is informational items.
I think I went through everything in there.
Yeah. Okay, so 3.10 would be upcoming meetings. What is that? Because I ain't got there yet. Still running through.
Yeah. So we talked about that January meeting,
Yes.
which will be a special meeting, and we looked at that second Monday in January, which I think you said you would still be gone.
I will.
Then.
Not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you told me you would.
It's the 8th, I think. Wasn't it?
I don't have a.
Maybe
January 8th?
Yeah, I think it's the 8th.
Yeah, I'll still be gone.
Okay, so what's the pleasure of the board? How long?
I'll be back like on 12.
The 12th?
Yeah.
That's on what?
That's on Friday.
Oh, okay. So we could do it the 8th, or we could push it on to that,
15th.
the 15th.
15th is MLK Day.
Oh, that's right, we're off. That's right, we're off.
You wanted to work that day.
Yeah, I'm trying to work. So whatever the pleasure of the board is, however you all want to do it.
Move it to on Tuesday the 16th, if you wanted.
That'd be fine with me.
That's fine with me.
Is that
Y'all
okay?
care? That would be fine with me.
Yeah.
It's got to be a special meeting.
And remember, it's a special
Yeah,
meeting.
have to be a special meeting.
Yeah.
Woody, is that good with you?
Yeah,
The 16th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, then we'll shoot for that then.
And then I think Philip talked about the Christmas lunch. Let me know if you're coming. I think I got everybody but Robert
Right.
for the Christmas lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see.
What was the date of the next meeting?
The 16th.
Of
Of
January.
January?
I'll send you a notice, Christian. Thank you. With all the special meeting stuff on it while we're doing it.
Appreciate it.
Just give me one. Well, it'd be fun.
Yeah, the next Christian. Well, you're welcome.
That's on Monday,
I
right?
like it.
Tuesday the 19th.
You know what? Okay, all right. Next is 3.11. Need a motion for the meeting to adjourn.
So moved.
Yeah, Miss Adjourn. We're done. Thanks, all. Are they adjourned?
Yes.
No. And I'm gonna give y'all a copy. Bust. Did you carry me?
No, I need to go with you.
With how?
That's our man.